Good day, all of you. So, today I'm going to start three lessons. Well, two first, and then another one, and then another one. I'm going to name the same thing, and I'm going to call them practically useless grammar lessons. The reason I do that is what I will say today. And in two more lessons, you can easily use the English language without knowing any of this. It doesn't matter if you know this or not, so long as you know how to use it. And then the question can be asked, why am I teaching you something practically useless? And I have a definite answer for that. Um, the reason I have a definite answer is because I have been a language teacher. I have had communication with people who are very scared to use the language. And the first thing that most of them say when I ask, why is it that you don't use this language? They say, we don't know grammar. That's like a set answer. And because of that, and because I want to take away that excuse and give them access to grammar should they need it, is the reason why I thought I will do some grammar lessons here which may not actually help you in the use of it. So today I'm going to talk about the type of sentences in two ways. The type as in declarative, interrogative, imperative and exclamatory. That type, and also about simple, compound and complex sentences which will help me teach you grammar much later. So these things are useful only for grammar teachers to make their job a bit easier. But whether you know what a sentence is called is not going to affect how you use the language. That is why I thought I will specifically call these lessons practically useless grammar lessons or something, so that those who are scared that they don't know what these sentences mean, and if you think that you need to know these in before you actually start using it, it's for them that I have these three lessons. Do look at it if you wish to just improve your knowledge, because knowledge is never harmful if it increases your confidence. So go ahead and listen, but remember, practically knowing these may not really help you use the language, which is actually all I want anyone to do, or any ESL teacher wants any student to do. Use it. Okay? All right. So this lesson is called the types of sentences, and I'm going to deal with two categories. One is the normal, the declarative, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory sentences, which are called the varieties that exist in simple sentences. It could easily be complex. I'll deal with only simple sentences. Can be either of the four things. And the simple sentence, compound, complex sentences are the ways in which a main verb and a subject come together in a sentence. That later. I will start with the four types of declarative, imperative, interrogative, and the exclamatory. It's very simple. The declarative sentence is a sentence which tells you some statement. For example, I'm doing a song and I will show you in that what these four types are. I love you is a declaration. It's a declarative sentence, right? Remember, I'm doing it at a very simple level. So something like I am a teacher, which we did with the we verb. It's a declarative sentence. Those could be literal, figurative, anything, right? Then an interrogative is a question. Are you a teacher? Okay, can you come tomorrow? Questions are called interrogative sentences. Imperative sentences are what we started with. Commands, or you tell someone to do something, it's imperative. Come here. Okay, or sit down, stand up. Those are called commands. Those also the type of sentences are imperative. And the last one is just, sometimes you make little noises like gosh, oh, ayo, right? Those are also a sentence which are called exclamatory. So we'll start with the question before I go to the song. What is a sentence? Okay, a sentence is something that makes complete sense and has normally a subject and a verb. That's all you have to know. It has a subject and a verb. Remember now, exclamatory doesn't. O is a sentence in that sense. What we normally use would have a subject and a verb and make complete sense. So for example, I cried is a complete sentence. I slept, the baby slept, the birds flew. They are complete sentences because they have a subject, they have a verb, and they make complete sense. The birds flew. Now there are some verbs which need something else for the meaning to be complete. For example, I made, subject verb, just like I slept. But while as I slept is complete, I made is incomplete. So those verbs that need something else to be complete are called transitive verbs. Useless knowledge again, but if you want to know it, a transitive verb is a verb that needs an object or something else to make it complete. An intransitive verb, intransitive, is a completely, you don't need anything else to make that meaning more complete. So cry, fly, sleep, these are completely intransitive verbs. A transitive verb needs an object to make it complete. Intransitive verbs do not need an object to make it complete. You can add things. I sleep at 10 o'clock every day. You can have adverbials giving a more complete sense of the sentence. It's not that you can't add anything afterwards. But the definition of transitive verbs and intransitive verbs is transitive verbs need an object to complete the meaning. Intransitive verbs don't. I will do that in more detail in the third lesson under this category. But you should know that I slept, full stop, is a complete sentence, and I made is not a complete sentence because of the transitive intransitive difference. Right. So that's what you mean by a sentence. It has a main subject, it has a main verb, and has to make complete sense. And within that framework, we can discuss the declarative, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory obviously won't have a subject and a verb, but still the meaning is complete. Oh, it's nothing to add. Ayyo. Okay, that's Sinhala, but O is something like Ayyo, right? So the meaning is complete. Everyone gets an idea of what those are. Right. Song now by a singer called Tracy Chapman. It's called Sorry. Sometimes it's called Baby Can I Hold You Tonight. For me, this song has affected me so deeply for the beauty of the words and also the power of the singer. Just when you go to YouTube, as I always say, please listen to the song before you listen to me reading out the lyrics, because I cannot bring the beauty of the music into what I say. Tracy Chapman. So when you go to Google and the internet, read up on Tracy Chapman, a very powerful singer, a Black American woman. I mean, she just stands with a guitar and sings, and that's enough, right? So, Baby Can I Hold You Tonight? Please, Tracy Chapman, go listen to it and come back to this. This is the song. It's sometimes also called Sorry. I will first read it, then I'll discuss it, and then I'll show you the 4 types of sentences here. Sorry is all that you can't say. Years have gone by and still words don't come easily. Like sorry. Like sorry. Forgive me is all that you can't say. Years gone by and still words don't come easily. Like forgive me. Forgive me. But you can say, baby, can I hold you tonight? Maybe if I told you the right words or at the right time, you'd be mine. I love you is all that you can't say. Years gone by and still words don't come easily. Like I love you, I love you. But you can say, baby, baby, can I hold you tonight? Maybe if I told you the right words or at the right time, you'd be mine. She repeats it. So, the reason I love this song is it talks about somebody who cannot speak easily. The words don't come easily. Declarative sentence. Words don't come easily. Like for someone like me, words come very easily. I talk a lot. But I know people very closely whose words don't come easily. And this Tracy Chapman is saying, all I can say is ask a question. Baby, can I hold you tonight? That's all I know how to say. I can't say I love you because it doesn't come easily. And I can't say I'm sorry. I can't say forgive me. So maybe they had a love affair and maybe they are not together anymore. And this song, she's saying, please forgive me. I cannot say these words. But I can say one thing. I can ask you a question. Can I hold you tonight? Right? And see, this song, when I try to show you declarative, interrogative, the sentences are so connected. Even the declarative phrase or the clause is within another sentence. But I'm not going to analyze that now because it's the whole thing. For example, forgive me is all that you can't say. That's the whole sentence. Forgive me is all that you can't say. That whole phrase, forgive me, comes as a nominal clause, which I will do right at the end. But today I'll just say, if you take these words out, there can be these 4 types of sentences. In the song itself, there are parts of sentences. But I will say, take it out and see that itself is a sentence, makes complete sense. So the declarative sentences in this song, now I hope you wrote it down. And I always say, writing down English is a very good method of becoming familiar with it, right? Sorry is all that you can't say. Years gone by and still words don't come easily, right? Look, I'll pick out the easy ones, right? The best declarative sentence, which is part of a sentence here, is I love you. If you put a full stop there, that's a declarative sentence. Nothing else that you need to say. I'm a teacher. I went home to Kandy yesterday. The students are clever. These are all declarations. They are statements, right? Examples of interrogative. A question, again used here as past, but I'm taking them out because I really want you to hear this song, and it's all varieties are here. This question, baby, can I hold you tonight? That's a question. I can hold you tonight is a statement. You make it a question by putting the verb before. Again, we'll do question form later. Can I hold you tonight is a question. And questions are called interrogative sentences. Are you a teacher? Do you live here? Where do you study? These are all sentences which are in the interrogative form, the question form, right? Imperative, forgive me. In this, of course, it's part of a sentence, but imagine you just have forgive me. You're asking someone to do something. Forgive me, full stop is a request, a command actually. Come here, stand up. So forgive me in this song, it's part of a larger sentence which I will analyze much later in my program series. But if you take forgive me out and put a full stop, that is a full sentence. Just like stand up, come here, sit down and all that. There isn't really a oh, I-O kind of thing here, except there is a O-O-H. That is more musical in this song. But O can easily be an exclamatory sentence. What you get here is, I think, more musical here. So, gosh, exclamation mark. Normally, these little sounds that we make with an exclamation mark are sentences, and always the exclamation marks come. That's why they are called exclamatory sentences. Okay. So, this song has, or you could take parts of this song and show all 4 types. And Now what I have to do is show you the simple, complex and compound sentences. Again, all these are almost complex and compound sentences, but let me pick some things out. If I say, words don't come easily, if I take that phrase out and put a full stop, here it's part of a compound sentence, but a simple sentence is when you have one subject and one verb in a clause. A clause is a group of words that have a subject and a verb. Any group of words that have a subject and a verb is called a clause. A group of words which function together with either a subject or a verb is called a phrase. It doesn't even have, like, a phrase is a group of words which function together. It doesn't have to have a subject verb combination, right? Normally it will of course have nouns or whatever. It can even have participles. A phrase is a group of words which function together. It does not have a subject verb combination. That's a phrase. A clause is a group of words which function together. They have to be considered together. A clause has a subject verb combination, right? If it's the main subject and the main verb, a clause becomes a sentence if you can put a full stop. For example, words don't come easily. If you put a full stop, words is the subject, don't come, negative, come is the verb, and then there's an adverb, fine, full stop. Simple sentences have one clause only. So the definition of a simple sentence is, a simple sentence has one clause, which means one subject, one verb combination. Simple sentences have one clause. Compound sentences, compound sentences can have two clauses, normally joined with a conjunction, like and, but. I will do conjunctions in a separate lesson. Compound sentences have two or even more clauses are possible, right? But all clauses have equal importance. They are equally important. Look at this sentence. Years gone by and still words don't come easily. Now consider words don't come easily within the bigger phrase of the song. Years gone by, years have passed, and still words don't come easily. So if you say years gone by, even put a full stop, it still makes sense, no? The years have gone by. The grammar, of course, they haven't put have, because in a song, they don't really have to be grammatical. But if you want to make a grammatical sentence, it is the years have gone by. Present perfect tense, again later. The years have gone by and still words don't come easily. Obviously, these people have separated quite some time ago, and this singer is saying, I'm sorry, even though so much time has passed, I haven't changed. I can't speak. So words don't come easily. And it's combined, the two clauses, years have gone by, words don't come easily, have been combined by the conjunction and. Both are equally important. Years gone by have is left out there, and still words don't come easily. That's an example of a compound sentence. Now, the last part of this type, simple compound, is complex. A complex sentence also has more than one clause. Only simple sentences have one clause. Compound sentences have more than one, generally two, could be more. A complex sentence has more than one clause, but one clause is more important than the other clause. In a compound sentence, if you take the clauses out and put a full stop, both become separate sentences. For example, the years have gone by, full stop, and forget that, still words don't come easily, another sentence. They can easily be separated. But in a complex sentence, one is a main clause and the other is called a subordinate clause, which means lesser importance. For example, if I say, if you come, I will be happy. If you come, I will be happy. So in that, if you come is one clause, I will be happy or will be is another clause. Now, I will be happy can easily stand as a sentence, but if you come cannot be a sentence because the meaning is not complete. If you say, if you come, we are waiting for something else. So when the meaning is not complete, it's still a clause, but not a main clause. It's called a subordinate clause. So a complex sentence is made of one main clause and one or more subordinate clauses, right? Which cannot stand alone if you separate them. So look at this sentence. Maybe if I told you the right words at the right time, you'd be mine. You'd means you would be mine. So this poor person who cannot speak is saying, maybe if I had the skill of telling the right words at the right time, if I knew how to speak, you would be mine. You would still be mine, or you would agree to love me. And he says, I'm sorry, I can't speak. So that sentence, if I told you the right words at the right time, that's a subordinate clause. If I told you the right words at the right time, because you can't put a full stop, the meaning is not complete. Even though there's a subject word combination, I told you. You would be mine, you would be mine. That's a main clause because you can easily put a full stop and make it a sentence if you wish, right? So most of these sentences are actually complex, though I did not show you. I picked some out and made separate sentence. I love you is all that you can't say. Years gone by and still words don't come easily like I love you. You can analyze it at a very different complex level, which I don't want to do at this level, right? So the best complex sentence I can give you now is, maybe if I told you the right words at the right time, you'd be mine. That's the easiest one I have right now to say. Sorry is all that you can't say. That is also a complex sentence. Sorry is all that you can't say. I won't analyze it at that level. You just get confused. So for the moment, remember, simple sentence, subject word, one clause. I love you. Complex sentences, more than one clause combined with a conjunction. Years have gone by and still words don't come easily. Compound sentence. A compound sentence has main clauses joined with a conjunction. Complex sentence has one main clause which can stand alone and one or many subordinate clauses. Right? So, quick lesson just to tell you what declarative, imperative, interrogative and exclamatory sentences are. The other one, just to show you what simple, compound and complex sentences are, which are going to be useful for me as I take you forward. So please learn about Tracy Chapman, learn about what she stood for. Listen to this song. It's one of the most beautiful that has impacted my life. And I think if you see her singing, you also might get very greatly and positively influenced. Thank you very much.